Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed this short coffee break. We're now moving to the final panel of today's program titled How Hydrogen Makes a Difference in User Success Stories. Throughout the conference, we have discussed strategies, policies, investments, technologies. This final panel brings the conversation closer to real-world implementation. It is my pleasure to introduce the moderator of this panel, Mr. Hakan Doğu, President of the Sustainable Mobility Initiative and General Partner at Alagan Partners Turkey. Also, the panelists are Mr. Wang Xuan, General Director, Belgrade Branch, China Energy International Group, Mr. Carlos Pabon, Business Development Manager International, 2G Energy, Mrs. Anna Kontny, Senior Advisor for the Western Balkans, Agentur für Wirtschaft und Entwicklung. Thank you. Mr. Damir Banovic, Western Balkans Manager, European Energy Denmark, and Mr. Andrea Mario Franchini, Senior Manager for Strategic Partnership, Siemens Energy. So please, Hakan.
Hello. So this is the last panel after 2 long days. Just before the lunch, probably you are hungry. And that's why I request them to lighten up a bit room in order to, let's say, to remember what we are going to talk, which is most probably the best panel you will ever see. Because we are going to give a real light example, and we have a fantastic team. We have only one witness. We became very good friends. That's why we had all hangover problems since last night. And then, so we will try to enjoy you in this presentation. So that's why I'm requesting from the left to right, 1 minute self-presentation, and we will come to the simple question. Carlos, please start.
Thank you.
1 minute.
Everyone, thank you for being here. Carlos Pavón, Business Development Manager for 2G Energy. We're a leading OEM of gas engines and combined heat and power plants for distributed generation. 10,000 systems delivered to 80 countries worldwide, including almost 40 hydrogen projects. Currently, in terms of 100% hydrogen fuel systems, we're the #1 gas engine company in the world. Thank you.
I'm Andrea Franchini, working for Siemens Energy. Business development and strategic partnership regarding green hydrogen. What is important to know is that our group working on green hydrogen is acting as a sort of internal startup to the company. So what we are trying to do is to build together with our customer and partner the system, the energy system for the future. We have more than 100,000 people as a group, present in 90 countries, with about 40 billion euro sales and more than 160 years of experience. In the hydrogen sector, we are acting really like a sort of internal startup, and but with a strong backup from a great and established company.
Thank you. Damir.
So my name is Damir Banovic. I'm head of office Western Balkans for European Energy, which is Danish developer and technology provider from in renewable energy coming from Denmark. We are large-scale projects developer, and we have currently portfolio of more than 80 gigawatts in development and construction in the world in renewable projects on 4 continents. We have offices in 29 countries, and we are front runner in Power to X, so the production of e-fuels, biofuels from renewable energy, and we have built and successfully operate the first and largest large-scale factory for production of e-methanol in Kesu in Denmark.
Okay, thank you. Anna?
Thank you. My name is Anna Kontny. I work at the Agency for Business and Economic Development. Thank you for pronouncing the name also correctly in German. The agency is part of the GIZ, the German cooperation, and I am specifically here in Serbia supporting German companies to enter the markets in the Western Balkans. So I'm not an expert on energy, but rather expert on tools to support companies who want to enter certain markets.
Thank you. Wang?
Dear participants, my huge honor today to be here. And very pleasure to meet all of you. I'm very lucky to have a Serbian name, Jovan. And thanks for this organizer to create this chance to meet new friends and also to bring the previous friend together. Energy China is 100% a government-controlled company, and we were in the region. I personally stay in Serbia already 3 years and a half. We are doing everything related to energy, mostly renewables, solar, wind, battery storage, biomass, and gas power, hydro. In the region, in Serbia, we completed Teto Pančevo as a contractor and also Kostolas B. Now we are into several solar projects based on our own investment and construction. In the region, in Republika Srpska, we have Dabar hydropower, and also in Croatia, we have water treatment agreement. So thanks for this chance to meet all of you. I'll be very happy to see and cooperate with all of you after the panel. Thank you.
Okay, so now we have two giants of the energy company, China Energy and the Siemens, and Carlos represents the supplier on the deep tech of the business. Then we represent the food that they produce, and Anna represents simply agency which is backed up by the state. So we have a perfect balance. So what I'm representing, I'm a car guy. So when I accepted this position, so why I'm here, because I'm not an industry guy. I've spent 38 years in the car business. So based on this, we have an interesting story to tell. But before that, please follow us on the LinkedIn. The one who's going to follow us in the LinkedIn, we will make a lottery to give some reward at the end. Anyway, so the story, in my perspective as a car guy, you know, the European Green Deal, we said that, okay, we are going to reduce all the emission to the zero by 2035, but the car maker in a silent room say that we cannot do that. But they didn't believe us. So now there's a big U-turn on the, apparently on this target. And because industry doesn't make a breakthrough in just 10, 15 years. It makes a breakthrough through the years with a small progress. So based on this, there is always priority about the battery electric vehicle. They never give this priority to the hydrogen business. And without state support, it is simply impossible. Why? Imagine that the first electric distribution network has been spread at all the countries. If the state would not do that, none of the companies CFO allow them to create an electric grid or electric power station. That's why this industry is a truly needs, let's say, space support. And that this space support, of course, is going to reduce the huge capex that we've been discussing this internally. And I'm a believer of the hydrogen, because much better than the battery electric vehicle. Of course, there are some challenges, but in my audience, I have seen fantastic example. I let you to enjoy it. That's why I would like to start, first of all, the manufacturer, and then later on, listen to the government, and finally, the full production, how is going on. So, Andrea, please start. You have 5 minutes, and we will have a second tour right after. And it is possible to make the intervention and asking the question even from the auditor. Please, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Maybe a short introduction regarding our view related to the market. The hydrogen market is going through a sort of reality check. After years of enthusiasm, today our only project that have solid fundamentals are moving forward. we can say that the market is in a phase of natural selection, but it's also important to recognize the progress we have achieved so far. Considering our experience, we started in 2011 with the first pilot project. We produce PEM electrolyzer, maybe I can also explain why. But starting from this 100 kilowatt, we moved to 1 megawatt in 2015, then to 10 megawatt in 2018, and today we have already over 100 megawatt as the dimension of our plants. That is demonstrated that thanks to the scale up, we can increase the capacity in really exponential way. In less than, let me say, 15 years, we have increased the dimension of our plants of more than 1,000, bringing green hydrogen from a pilot perspective to an industrial, mature, and reliable scale. That is the most important one to make the market real. Another point that I have to underline is that the production capacity. So we are producing really a very small amount of the hydrogen needed in the industry. But in any case, today we have a capacity of 1 gigawatt per year in our factory. We are also able to reach 3 gigawatt working on more shifts instead of a single one. We have more than 150 megawatts already in operation and 1 gigawatt of power in execution. That means that in a couple of years, everything is really producing data and will be reality. That is really the big advantage that we can bring on the market, or additional value, is the power of data. Consider this exponential growth. You can imagine that with the growing of number of applications of gigawatt applied, but also with the dimension of the plant, we can produce a huge amount of data. Every single plant is producing something like more than 10 gigabyte data every day. And that's the real value for our research and development. We can improve our system, we can develop predictive maintenance system, improving reliability, improving efficiency and cost, not only for the future plant, but also for the existing one. So for us, data is really the bridging, something that is bridging technology and bankability, because what the investor need to have is to risk reduction and to don't have any surprise during the execution of their projects. About CapEx versus OpEx, we have already spoken in this many times. What is important to know is that through our simulation model that we have developed, we can really help investor operators to reduce the risk. And what is more important, we can also offer predictive services that maximize availability, productivity, with a positive impact on LCOH and the long-term viability of the projects. So we are not only selling products, that's not the way we can do in the case of hydrogen. We have to offer a complete life cycle support. So life cycle services are not an option, they are part integrated, an integral core part of our value proposition. Two words about technology. There is many technology we can use today, because that's also one of the goal of this panel. Alkaline is a technology that is on the market since more than 100 years. It's solid, but for us, is not enough in order to cover the biggest problem we have. That is the very high cost of OpEx, cost of energy. So we have to maximize every single drop of energy power that we are using. For that reason, we moved to the PEM technology. And also this technology is not, let me say, a sort of one-fit-all solution. There is case where also alkaline technology is good, but at least in the case of European countries, we think that the PEM technology is better for several reasons. First, because it's more efficient than the alkaline one. is more compact, is more sustainable because we are not using hazardous or corrosive substances like potash or lye, let me say, and that is crucial in Europe. And the fourth thing that is also more and more important in these years, because you are accessing this huge growth of the dimension of the plant, is that we are more flexible in front of renewable, but also for producing grid or providing grid services. So the electrolyzer, they don't have to create a problem to the network, they have to help stabilizing network, and that is another point where Siemens Energy is working on. That's more or less also the priority we are doing for that.
Okay, thank you very much. So simply electrolyzer process, you use the energy, store inside of the hydrogen, then they consume later on. This is looks like simple, but behind that there is an iceberg, incredible complex ecosystem. So Carlos, can you please tell us your success story shortly and tell us what we need to make this technology more available, much cheaper, except scaling? So is there some breakthrough to come in? Because hydrogen is a very, very difficult material to work on. Go ahead.
Thank you, Hakan, and thank you, Andrea. Well, I will start with a brief comment. I have to definitely agree with Andrea on the stage of the market, on the status of the market. If we imagine the technology implementation curve, we're definitely right after the peak, where the players, the projects are being naturally selected, and yeah, we will see, but for sure, I believe there's something positive that is pointing towards maturation of the market. Now, going into the technology, I'll explain it briefly because I think the most interesting contribution from my side could be the projects that our customers have executed. But briefly on the technology, yes, hydrogen is a complicated gas to handle. Basically, we developed our 100% up to 100% hydrogen engine already over a decade ago, starting from our experiences with syngas, synthesis gas having more or less 40% hydrogen. So already back in the day, we started working with gases that had a high hydrogen content, and then eventually developed the technology that can handle up to 100% hydrogen. How do we do that? If you know the operation of a gas engine, in essence, we shifted from a carbureted system where we mix air and fuel and then turbo compress the air and the fuel and intercool the mixture and then go into the engine. That's the usual operating mode of a standard gas engine. We shifted to what we call a direct port injection system. So for efficiency purposes, efficiency of combustion purposes, but also for safety purposes, with the direct port injection system, what we achieve is we create a combustible mixture of hydrogen and air only already at the place where we actually want it to combust, which is inside the combustion chamber of the engine. So we get rid of the carbureted system, we simply turbo compress the air, intercool the air, and then only mix already at the combustion chamber. But if you're curious on the technology, please, you will find me after the panel. Maybe I will take a few minutes to tell you about the projects. That's probably what interests you most. First, I tend to use the word project, but we don't deliver projects, we deliver systems, technology to our customers. So it's actually the work of our customers that helps us succeed as well. Maybe the first case is precisely with Siemens Energy. One of our most important projects is executed in Dubai. At the time, that was the biggest solar power plant in the world. At this time, it's no longer the case. But basically, 1 gigawatt at the time, solar park was producing energy during the day, producing hydrogen during the day with the Siemens electrolyzer. And then during the night, when the solar panels were not available, the hydrogen was stored and used in our system to produce electricity during the night. So precisely connecting to the point that Hakan was mentioning before, energy storage. So what we do, what is the benefit of the technology is try to help reduce the cost of production of hydrogen. How do you do that? One of the ways is to maximize the output of the project, the revenues of the project. So basically, we help the project produce, in that specific case, electricity during the night, freeing up the storage tanks for new hydrogen to be produced during the day. So energy storage, maximizing the output of the project. But another way to do that is efficiency. We also have executed projects, for example, with Toyota, with Total, where depending on the type of electrolyzer that we have, we can use the heat coming from our system, because we usually deliver combined heat and power systems, so we also produce heat in addition to electricity. We can use that hot water basically to preheat the water going into the electrolyzer. So what we do is we preheat the water, electrical resistances or other technologies, new energy, primary energy, does no longer need to be used to achieve that temperature level. So the overall production efficiency of the hydrogen, the overall efficiency of the electrolyzer is increased. So that's the case in another couple of projects that we've built. Then also in other projects, depending on the operational setup of the project, we help stabilize the load for the electrolyzers, which again, depending on the electrolyzers, that is something that they like. It increases the efficiency, increases the lifetime. So basically we improve the lifetime of the project. In terms of applications, going back to projects, most of what our customers have done until now is green hydrogen. The project that I was mentioning before, but also take, for example, there's a very nice site at the European Marine Energy Center, and they are producing electricity and hydrogen with ocean currents. But there is no demand for that hydrogen directly at the site. So what they do is they compress the hydrogen, they truck it to a nearby airport, and the airport produces 100% decarbonized electricity and heat for their operations. So that's another, let's say, a commercial application for green hydrogen. Other one of our customers in a municipal utility in the south of Germany, they're a very sophisticated customer. They have multiple uses for the hydrogen. That's also a Siemens Energy electrolyzer, by the way. So imagine that they are producing hydrogen with wind. And I'll tell the whole story because I'm not saying the name of the customer. So the municipal utility actually reached out to their customers to co-invest in the project, and they found in their customers a good investment resource. They invested together with their customers in a green hydrogen project. They acquired a wind power plant. They produce hydrogen, and then they store the hydrogen. They have different outlets of the hydrogen storage tank. So one outlet blends hydrogen with between 10 to 20% with natural gas, and they distribute the partially decarbonized fuel to their customers, to the residential customers, so people heat their homes and heat their water at their homes with partially decarbonized fuel. Another outlet of the hydrogen storage tank goes to a brewery. So the brewery already had a combined heat and power system running on 100% natural gas. With our system, they're now being able to blend natural gas with hydrogen, partially decarbonizing the fuel, and again, using that fuel with an efficiency of up to 90% in their production process continuously to produce electricity and heat. Then another outlet of that hydrogen storage tank goes to a new combined heat and power system running on 100% hydrogen, and that unit is connected to the day-ahead market. So the customer knows the day before the prices of electricity that they're going to get, and whenever the electricity is expensive enough to justify the use of hydrogen, well, then they produce electricity, fully decarbonized electricity, and participate commercially viable in the day-ahead markets of electricity. And all of these are green hydrogen projects. But for me personally, and maybe as a company as well, what is very, very interesting is waste hydrogen. Because if you see projects from my perspective, from our perspective, going back to CapEx and OpEx, CapEx is important as usually the focus of customers, but OpEx is key. And within combined heat and power projects, fuel costs and risks are the most important factors in the project. So if you're able to utilize a waste, for example, waste hydrogen, and convert it into electricity and heat, you're creating a generation project with zero fuel cost, or actually negative fuel cost, because flaring the fuel usually has cost. So those projects are total no-brainers, and they pay back really, really quickly. So they're the fastest ones to usually happen. So my idea to you, if you have streams of waste hydrogen, if you can identify streams of waste hydrogen, that is currently being flared or thermally oxidized, there's a gold mine in there to be able to produce electricity and heat and have a very, very profitable project very quickly. A customer of ours that is doing that is in Taiwan. They're a semiconductor manufacturer. In the semiconductor manufacturing process, you have a naturally occurring waste gas that is between 97 to 99% hydrogen. They were flaring the gas. Now they're utilizing the gas continuously, 8,000 hours per year or more, to produce electricity and heat at no fuel cost. That project pays back extremely quickly. And maybe I'll leave it there, but there's many other projects that our customers have executed. If you're curious, feel free to reach out and happy to talk.
Thank you very much. So, Mr. Wang, as you are a giant company,
Yeah, we are.
you are doing in a many energy projects, and of course you are going to give us some best practice from China, but I have some curiosity that everybody is astonishing to the success of the China. It was a manufacturing hub before, but now it's a technology hub. You have the scale, you have a fantastic academic people, fantastic engineers, and internal market. So China did not prioritize the hydrogen, prioritize the better technology. So there is a now new 5-year plan. Would you see that this is also in the provision that hydrogen will be more important? And give us a bit broad perspective of the China's situation. Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you. I will be very short about this hydrogen energy development in China. I will be very short. Actually, you can find all these numbers through AI. After this short briefing, then we will go back to discuss the possibility and how are we going to work here or in European Union. China is, of course, the largest hydrogen producer, and now the government is accelerating the transition from green hydrogen from the green hydrogen to green hydrogen. We have, of course, the complete industry chain and policy support, which are very important for the development of hydrogen. Okay, last year, the annual hydrogen output exceeds 37 million tons. It's equal to more than 1/3 of the global production. And 2026 year, we will plan to produce 38 million tons. Of course, in China, hydrogen is defined as a secondary energy source in national law. So which means we also have the support from the law-making decision. Okay, I will start from the industry chain of hydrogen production we call upstream, which now green hydrogen, we mostly by using coal and now over 95% of the total output is still the green hydrogen. One number I want to share with all of you, maybe I was wrong, because I don't have time to discuss the engineers for hydrogen. The cost of production of green hydrogen is 2 to 2.5 euro per kilogram. Of course, when we are using solar or wind to produce it, some area with better sunshine and wind, the price might be reduced to 1.25 to 2 euros. So these numbers are from the one project which my company is doing in China. Okay, another number for green hydrogen, the market price in China is 2.8 euro, 2/2.8 euro per kilogram. We have, of course, the possibility to reduce the cost from 1.5/2 euro per kilogram, where we have better sunshine and wind. Another thing I would like to share with you is the storage and transportation. In China, we have high-pressure gaseous hydrogen, liquid hydrogen, and also the traditional pipeline transportation. Now I checked today in the morning with the Ministry of Transport, China built more than 540 hydrogen refueling stations. I think it's number one globally. Okay, the last one is the transportation vehicle. Now maybe I'm thinking if we will discuss about the potential cooperation between Chinese company like our company with Serbia, maybe 2027 there will be Expo. Maybe we can discuss the possibility about the hydrogen fuel transportation bus, for example. I think it will be one very interesting topic for the government. The next point that I would like to share with you is the policy, which we will need to discuss with the government here. No matter, okay, because my company, we had several projects with a Serbian company for solar, wind plus battery storage. And as you all know, the standalone battery storage for peak shaving and for the balancing, we're still waiting for the policy, how we can get our investment back. I think this is the same topic or the question to Serbian government. If there are international European investor for investment of hydrogen here in Serbia, what will be the policy support and the law to support, to guarantee the better return of the investment? I think this is the key question. And I will be also happy to discuss with you in the coming future. Thank you.
Okay, Damir, you are from the company that who produce already hydrogen and is selling in the market. You are a real customer. You are from the real life. And of course, reduction of the prices totally depend on these gentlemen develop better technology, cheaper solution. And this is a way that we are heading today. So are there some companies today who make money from this hydrogen business? They are happy to use the hydrogen. So can you give us some example?
Yeah, we have and operate at the moment 2 factories. One is producing only hydrogen for the purpose of electricity production for the port of Esbjerg. It's 3 electrolyzers, 12 mega each. And the other factory produces e-methanol. And we have, before we even started thinking about investing and building and develop, actually we had to develop technology for the production. We try to identify the needs that are in today's world and in green transition. So we identified that there is no feasible solution yet for the transport industry, for the plastic production industry. So we decided that we will move a step forward behind the hydrogen. And we have developed the process of producing the 100% green fuel in a way of e-methanol, e-ethanol, ammonium, and we are now scaling up the production of sustainable aviation fuel. Then we identified potential markets and key market players in transportation industry. So we joined with Maersk, who is the biggest shipping company in the world, and we signed the agreement with them that they will take over e-methanol from us for the purpose of fueling the ships as a replacement for diesel. Then we encountered with Novo Nordisk and Lego. Novo Nordisk and Lego are taking over our e-methanol, and they are producing bioplastics out of it. So all these insulin injectors or Ozempic recently injectors are produced with bioplastics from our e-methanol. Of course, we are also delivering part of the hydrogen production to air, liquid, and other gas operators or companies that are dealing with technical gases and so forth. So at the moment, our facility in Queso produces 100% more than all the world production of e-methanol combined. And we are in the process of developing and construction of 13 different factories, and the smallest one of those will be double the size of the first one in Queso. They are planned to be built first in the first wave in Germany, Denmark, Great Britain, Canada, United States, and Brazil. And they're all of them basically are for the purpose of Maersk. And Maersk has taken over responsibility to add 20 e-methanol fueled ships per year, which is creating great demand for us. And so we are in a hurry to build more and produce more e-methanol. Of course, the important part is also bioplastic. We all are aware of the pollution of the created by simply producing the plastics out of the fossil fuels, and then residues, and the effect that the plastic has on a life on the planet. So we see this as a even bigger contribution to the environment, since this bioplastic can be you can even design it in a way that it will resolve in 6 months or a year, or you can program it, and you can program how it will be resolved, what it will be the length of the chain that is breaking apart or whatever. So it's going to solve actually two issues rather than one.
Okay. Thank you very much. So Anna, now Anna is representing the agency who is promoting this, and of course the role of the government agencies is helping to regulate the market, as well as giving the right support and the right coordination of all the players in a huge ecosystem which is being built. And of course, hydrogen as an alternative energy source is very important. And the situation is now evolving in a bit different stage because of all the geopolitical event this is happening. So Russia-Ukraine war created a cut off to all the gas supply from Russia, and Europe started to import LNG from all around the world. But then apparently now the new war between the US and Israel against Iran is completely blocked the Hormuz Strait, and the petrol prices is hitting to up to $100. And before, when you were asking the CFO of the Doğu gentleman company, they may say, okay, so there's no payback, etc. But now, hey, gentlemen, there is no energy. Forget the payback. Okay? So, sovereignty of the energy is a key issue, right? So, where Europe can get the petrol from Middle East, or from Central Asia through Turkey, or bringing from the United States. But we know that expensive energy creating an inflation that is killing all the growth of the economies. So, of course, there is a trial of the electrification on the passenger cars. This has failed in Europe. Now there are different discussion, which is using e-fuel that the Demir company is also producing, using the hydrogen, etc. A lot of projects. So a lot of things has been changed since 2001, the Green Deal is announced. So what is the, let's say, status as a government agent and the German government is thinking as the powerhouse of the manufacturing in Europe? Please.
Thank you. Thank you. So maybe very general, the German hydrogen strategy states very clearly that obviously the demand for hydrogen cannot be covered by projects in Germany only. So the need to develop international market is quite clear and guides this whole strategy. And in general, in Germany, 2 ministries are supporting hydrogen projects or green hydrogen projects internationally. It's the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Energy and the Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development, under which my agency for business and economic development is operating. So notice the names, there's always the word economy in there, and we are very much here to support this economies. And between those 2 ministries, we support hydrogen projects across all the development stages of the project, so including CAPEX and OPEX support. In the very initial stages, there is the H2 PPP project, where the ministry enters into private-public partnerships with companies to identify and pilot green hydrogen projects or production of derivatives. And this is rather in the initial stages, feasibility, training, very small ticket projects until 300,000 euros. With the target to ramp up the international markets. Then on export of technologies, we have the funding guideline, which supports projects with grants of up to 30 million euros worldwide in the very implementation of the project, so construction of the planes, of the facilities. And since this panel is called Success Stories or Successful Project, I would mention 2 such projects supported by this funding guideline. One is the Oshivela solar plant in Namibia, where a power plant is fueling an electrolyzer, and I think it's 12 megawatt, to produce green iron, and this green iron is then also transported to the German market. So maybe we've heard it in the panel below. Sometimes the costs of the products further down the development of the products are then can compete better than maybe the hydrogen itself. Another project is the Haru Oni project in Chile and Patagonia. This is a wind power project, a slightly smaller electrolyzer by Siemens. This is a project together with Siemens Energy and Porsche, where we produce e-fuels for cars, for race cars as well. So also something for the car lover. From this funding line, also the project here in Serbia, which was present in the panel before, was financed. And then on the purchase side, we have the G2 Global project, which is the instrument of the German government to support the purchase of green hydrogen and products in the market. So it's OPEX support, so to say, or support and guarantees in offtake. And it's based on a double auction mechanism where a German company, a subsidy of a green hydrogen foundation, is buying green hydrogen products on international markets and then selling it in Germany. And recently Denmark also entered this mechanism. And Germany subsidizes the difference in the price between the buying price and the market price. So really across all the different implementation stages. And this is only the support for really purely hydrogen projects. What now GIZ and my agency are doing really in the developing markets, we support the human development, the technical cooperation, the vocational training, also possibilities to kind of lower your OPEX costs. Imagine you have now this state-of-the-art power plant in Namibia or somewhere around the world, but you don't have the engineers, the personnel to run and to maintain it. So this is also something that, especially in developing markets and partner countries, Germany invests very much in.
Okay, thank you very much. So we completed the first tour. We have 16 minutes left. I will raise a bit provocative question to the Mr. Wang and Andrea. Germany and the Netherlands has a project in Namibia. Right, so it is, I think, one of the best examples of the green hydrogen. Is basically in Namibia is a very population-wise small country, but it's a big country. There's a lot of sun on the desert. They desalinate water from the sea with the solar panel and then make the hydrolysis operation, then finally they got the green hydrogen. But of course, transporting the green hydrogen is always quite expensive and then difficult stuff. They spend around 5 billion euro. Anna, in one word, is this project a success or failure so far?
It's a great success so far, I believe.
Okay.
For the reason that I just mentioned, the hydrogen in Namibia is used directly in the region to produce green iron. So there we have really the optimal kind of condition, not only that the sun is always shining, but this whole infrastructure or the part of the production is already in the country. And we are lucky to have a producer there. And the iron is then much easier to transport as well. Maybe not cheaper, but much easier to Germany.
Okay, thank you very much. So now, my question to the two energy companies as a specialist on is, when I first time hear about this project, that's a Namibia project, I said, we are very unlucky. This Arab, Middle East or Africa, they will continue to produce the energy we need. We will not be able to do it. But in the meantime, in Belgrade, we have a Danube, what we call it in Turkish, Tuna River, immense water, no problem for the electrolysis operation, but there is no enough sun like in, let's say hot places, country like Morocco, okay? So now, I raised this question during our discussion of the preparation of this panel. Morocco is quite close to Europe. They have a sufficiently nice sun. Even there not too much dust. They can desalinate the water from the sea and ship it to the very close destination. But of course, desalination is also a very big energy consuming operation, and maintenance is also quite difficult. Instead, doing in Serbia, are there some advantages, or what is the success factor that we need to do it? First, you, then you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's first start to discuss about the solar and wind energy in Serbia. I've been here 3 years and almost 4 years. Let's say the average solar radiation hours is 1,300. Yeah, somewhere probably will be better. Let's say city Bor, maybe they have better solar radiation. sunshine radiation. And for wind, we have Alibunar, this area, and it goes to where I think also close to Sitibor. Srnaverh is somewhere there. So we have this wind belt. If we will potentially discuss about the location, and we need, of course, the river, so maybe Alibuna will be the preliminarily better position to build any hydrogen plant, because we will need more, much better natural resource for wind and solar. Definitely, we will also equip with battery storage. Yes, that's my personal vision about the location where will be better to choose for the coming projects. Another one which I already mentioned is the government support. I think also from the other colleagues in many European countries, the government already had somehow type of support or subvention, subsidy to support the project. But definitely, I believe Serbia still have no some details about the legislation or the law-making decision. But if we will continue for the hydrogen project development, definitely we will need some type of special green light for the hydrogen project development. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, from my point of view, is a matter of fact that the production of hydrogen or the places where the hydrogen can be produced with a lower cost are usually remote areas. Yeah, you're correct. We are speaking about Namibia, sub-Saharan areas, Patagonia, Emirates, or this area, but there is not huge, let me say, final utilizer. So again, it's important to build a complete value chain, and when we are thinking about scaling up the hydrogen economy, unless we are thinking about producing long pipeline, but longer, thinking about many thousand kilometers, our view is really to pass through some other, let me say, products. Could be e-methanol, like in the case of European energy, could be e-ammonia, but not only as a final product, but really as a product to give the opportunity to transport hydrogen from production side to the utilization side. That is really key. Without this opportunity, we cannot imagine having multi-gigawatt plants in Europe easily, because the problem we were also discussing this morning, cost of electricity in Europe, even renewable, is too high for different reasons, also regulation that maybe has to be adopted, fragmentation of European market, also inside of European community. But yeah, we have really to think. We have to think about this way to operate. The other point is again, but Anna was already mentioning this point, as we have done maybe 20 years ago with the renewable, scaling up the solar. We need to have a stronger governmental help, not only related to the capex that in some cases was successful, but in some cases, speaking also about my experience with some developers, even if they were receiving 70% of the capex, they decided not to go forward with their project. Why? Because at the end the LCOH was too high due to the high cost of electricity, and due to the fact that the off-taker, they don't wanted to take the risk, not having 10-year insurance about the condition and so on. So what, in my opinion, will be the enabler in the future is really to have access to stable condition in terms of supporting on OPEX, not on CAPEX. Yeah? That's in some cases, speaking about my experience with Italian government, was a mistake. Yeah, spreading money on many small projects instead of investing on the real one that can go forward. And definitely seeing hydrogen or green hydrogen as a way to increase the resilience of European energy system. That is really the final goal of hydrogen. It's not an energy source, it's a way to de-risk our energetic situation. That's...
Thank you very much. Yes, please go ahead.
I'll just say that if it works with sunshine in Denmark, then for sure it can work in Serbia. So it's not a matter of sun, it's a matter of calculation and willingness to invest in better future.
Anna, would you like to say something?
Yes, that Serbia doesn't have a coastline, so maybe could be a difference with Denmark. So we don't have Maersk and.
I believe there are ships on Danube too. So
you have the perfect condition. Also, energy with zero or negative cost. That's wonderful.
Okay. From automotive perspective, just to say the few words. I mean, Toyota has been trying a lot on the hydrogen. Even in Paris, there's a test fleet of the taxi, Toyota Mirai, very beautiful hydrogen blue. And I took a ride in this taxi and then checked them if they are happy. They are happy. There are a few stations to fill. But the problem is always hydrogen is a transportation, is an extreme cold chain, and then creating very high pressurized feeding station is very expensive. It's a question of the scale up of this ecosystem. That's for sure. And in the automotive industry, we have always breakthrough, but instead of the breakthrough, we should go step by step to the ahead. So I would like to share with you our, let's say, one of the best practices, which is from the Formula One. I don't know, do you like the Formula One? Okay, so everybody likes the Formula One. And back to 2021-22, in Formula One, to reduce the CO2, because for the, electrical car owner, like a religion, like a cult, they hate the combustion engine cars. So with this against it, and also there's a e-Formula has been launched as a competitor to this, and the response to the combustion engine world is hybridization of the vehicle as well as usage of the e-fuel. In a certain percentage, we managed to reduce. And in the right after what happened, e-Formula never succeed. We keep continuing to survive under this condition. So then, on that time, the liter price comparable to the fuel is around €9, but now reduced to the €2-3. And what we discovered that this is again hydrogen, but you just add some carbon to transform artificial fuel. That's a perfect solution for the existing technology that we have, and we have advancements which is combustion engine. So that's why there is a lot of lobbying in the German car maker. There is a e-fuel initiative, a think tank, which is, let's say, providing the support. This is the one way that I believe that there is a big, let's say, opportunity. And then second way, Toyota is also trying very nice methodology, canister. The canister you use at home, it will be plugged into the car. I seen this morning there is another French-Moroccan startup. They launch a similar approach. You have 2 canisters, 3 canisters put in your car, and then you drive, and you have another canister shop, and then you can exchange. So this looks like very smart. This is still being tested in Japan. And these are also solutions. So I believe that the future will be the multi-energy platform, and the hydrogen will play the very important role. At the end of the day, we have an industrial representative. They need to achieve to scale up and make it cheaper for the life. And at the end, should deliver 2 results. Carbon neutral world, which is better for our children. And the second, energy sovereignty. Now this is the #1 topic that we need to take care of. Okay, so we have 2-3 minutes. I would like to know if there's somebody raise any question to this distinguished member of this panelist. I don't see any question. I think everybody is hungry. I let you to go to lunch. Thank you very much for your attention.
Hey, thank you for sharing your practical experiences, valuable insights with us. Thank you again. We can...
panel so far?
Sorry?
Is it best panel so far?
Of course, of course. The best light, definitely. Dame i gospodo, ovim panelom završavamo dvodnevni just say. Dakle, završavamo dvodnevni program treće Beogradske konferencije o vodoniku. Tokom protekla 2 dana imali smo prilike da razmenimo ideje, iskustva, perspektive o razvoju tržišta vodonika i energetskoj tranziciji. Čuli smo različite poglede sa strane industrije, institucije, investitora, tehnoloških kompanija. Nadamo se da je bilo novih ideja i u networking prostorima, novih kontakata, potencijalne saradnje. U ime organizatora želim vam da se iskreno zahvalim svim govornicima, partnerima i učesnicima koji su svojim znanjem i iskustvom doprineli kvalitetu ove konferencije. Klaster za razvoj vodoničnih projekata poziva sve zainteresovane kompanije, institucije i partnere da nastavimo dijalog i radimo zajedno na konkretnim projektima i saradnjama koje mogu doprineti razvoju vodonične ekonomije u našem regionu. Meni samo preostaje da vas pozovem da se pridružite na završnom networking ručku gde ćemo takođe u manje formalnoj atmosferi nastaviti razgovore, kontakte i planove za sledeću godinu. Vidimo se 2027. Očekujte još atraktivniju konferenciju. Hvala.